guys. Happy Saturday. Hopefully you guys had a great week. I wanted to hop in today just to show my presence and wish you guys a good weekend. I wasn't coming yesterday to do a flashback Friday for you guys, but I got busy, and so I was just kind of it didn't slip my mind, but I just got busy. I just decided to do one today, so that's why I'm here today. Hope you guys are doing great. And yeah, it's so crazy because like what I was going to talk about yesterday with my flashback Friday, which I decided just to do today. I was going to talk about how hang on. I was going to talk to you guys about how pretty much regarding my dreams I used to have back in the day, or I still have them, but they were more frequent back then because it's kind of like showing me what was to come. And so I believe like it was more frequent back then because it didn't occur at that time, or it was coming up, I guess. And so I think like now at this time, it's like what I'm doing now is just kind of like witnessing what my dreams pretty much showed me back in the day, you know, as I was growing up. And I think I told you guys last time that I dreamt about the water a lot. So I do dream about water a lot, to be honest with you guys. And so the first dream that he showed me was, well, one of the dreams that he showed me, which was the dream that I told you guys last time I did my video, was regarding the beach, the water at the beach, and how it was changing into different forms. And so I would have dreams like that, right? And on top of like nature too, like animals and things of that sort, like the birds and the trees and everything, like I would dream like I would go into the forest and like everything would be like, it'll be regular, normal. When I would walk through the forest, it just seemed like all the animals just had more energy, and they just looked more vibrant. Even like the colors of the flowers and the plants and everything just looked more vibrant, and it just looked really magical, right? And so I would have dreams like that. Another one I thought was kind of strange was the dream that I had regarding I don't know if I spoke about this on here. I may have on my podcast, but since I don't know what's going on my podcast, so I'll just speak on it over here, you know, just in case you guys haven't heard it. But I had this dream a while ago, maybe years ago, and I dreamt like I was flying in the sky. Like literally, I seen like the foundation was really muddy. Like it was like it had rained or there was a flood or something, because there was no houses. I didn't see any houses, no buildings, no type of construction buildings or anything. There was nothing. And or commercial buildings, sorry, which are pretty much like businesses, you know. I didn't see any of that. All I seen was mud everywhere on the foundation. And so as I was flying in the sky, you know, I was just going up into the sky, right? And then there was other people, though. It wasn't just me. So I was going up into the sky, and then there was other people next to me going up as well. So I wasn't the only one flying. And so then it's strange because I remember when I looked down, because I looked down while I was flying up. I looked down to see what was going on. And that's why I was able to see the muddy foundation, right? I was like, that's weird. I don't see any houses, just all mud. And then unfortunately, I see my mom. She was in her house, I believe, and She was sitting on a couch and she's trying to hurry up and pack her bags. Like I seen suitcases and she's trying to hurry up and pack, and she's all freaked out, and she was trying to hurry up, I guess, to pack. And she kept saying she needed to go check on her mom and dad. But I don't know. I think at that time when I had that dream, they may have still been alive. Maybe not. I don't know, but I can't remember. But I remember her saying that she kept like trying to hurry up, and like she was like running around the house trying to hurry up and get everything packed. And she's like saying how she needed to go so she can hurry up and get to her mom and dad. And she's freaking out, right? And so that's all I seen when I looked down. But I was already outside in the air, like up in the sky. But when I looked down, that's what I saw was the muddy foundation. And then for some reason I just was able to see inside the house and see what was going on, I guess. And that's what she was saying, you know. And so I was like, that's weird. So I just kept flying like higher and higher in the sky. And so that's like another dream I had regarding me doing certain things with nature. And so I would just be really confused when I would wake up, because I didn't understand like the purpose of the dreams at that time, because it was just really strange. Like, who dreams about themselves flying? You know, or all this crazy stuff. And I've dreamt of me flying before. I believe it was the night of my grandma's funeral. I finally went to sleep, and I had a dream that she's flying in the air with me. And I mentioned this in my podcast too. I don't know what's going on my podcast, guys. If you guys can't find it, forgive me. It was taken down or something, I don't know, but I can't log back into it, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I do have my audio still, so I might have to do another one. I'm not for sure, but I still have all my audios still, so I didn't really lose anything. So I'll have to figure that out. But I mentioned this dream too on my podcast. But she was flying with me in the air, and she was telling me all these secrets, like a lot of information. And it's weird because now that I remember, when we were flying in the air and she's telling me all these secrets of the world, pretty much, as we were flying in the air, it was nighttime, and I remember looking down while we're in the air, and it's weird, it was the same thing. It was like rain everywhere. It was dark though, but it was raining, and there was light poles that were on, and all I remember was mud everywhere on the ground and just rain everywhere, and all I seen was the street lights, you know. But she's telling me all these secrets of the world, right? And we're just flying in the air together. And the craziest part is, like, when I woke up, I didn't remember anything she told me, not even one thing out of all those secrets she was telling me. I woke up and I was just like trying to think, like, it took me like maybe an hour. I was just sitting there like, she came to me for a reason the night of her funeral, but she's telling me all these secrets of the world. And for me not to remember anything when I woke up, I was like, this is weird. Why come I can't remember anything? But then, like, now think about it, like, the more I grew and as time went by, more secrets did come to light to me, you know, regarding my life, right? And so I was just like, maybe that's what she's telling me, you know. But I don't know. But it was a lot of information, a whole lot. Like, it happened like all night. We were just flying and she's telling me all this stuff. But the foundation was muddy and rainy and all this stuff, right? So I was just like, that's strange. Because that's the second dream I had with the foundation being muddy and rainy and stuff, right? So, like, over time, God would send me dreams, right? Like, little by little, showing me certain things regarding to my life, right? Like, regarding nature, right? So I could, like, back in the day, I would be like, why am I having these dreams? Because they were just so random. That's why I knew that they had a significant meaning to them, because they were just so random. And as time went by, you know, I started understanding more about the dreams, because with me not even thinking about my dreams, I noticed, like, I ended up being out in nature a lot, like, but I think that was God's plan for me to be in nature, right? To be able to discover my gifts, right? Because I can't really do that if I'm always in the house, right? And so that's why when I would go to the beach, like certain things would happen. I'd be like, that's weird, but not even thinking about my dream, like my dreams that I was having, you know, not even putting them together until later, right? So while I'm at the beach and all this stuff is going on with the water, I was just like, this is crazy. But I wasn't even thinking about my dreams. But then later on, I just started thinking, or I started having the dreams around the same time, if not later, earlier. And then I was just like, maybe that's why I had the dream, you know? Like certain things would happen at the beach that was just amazing to me. And I just feel like, why is this happening? Like, this doesn't happen. Like, it's not normal, right? And so, like, in my mind, when I first witnessed it, I thought it was strange. But then my dreams kind of like confirmed to me why it was happening, you know, so that I wouldn't feel like it was off, you know, or I was doing something wrong. And so as time went by, you know, the material started, as I started evolving and working on my traumas and everything, you know, that's when like more knowledge started coming towards me more each day, pretty much, especially regarding nature and stuff, and the teachings, the ancient teachings. And so the more that I received the knowledge and was studying stuff, the more that it made sense regarding nature and why certain things would happen if I would be near water, or just certain things with air and stuff, right? So it just kind of gave me more clarity, because at first I just thought, like, I didn't know. Like, I remember I walked into the water and started going crazy, and I was just like, and this is back in 2020 when I first got to Cali. I got to the water and was acting crazy. Like, it started moving really fast, and I was just like, what the heck? And all I had was my foot in the water, like the shallow end of the water. I wasn't even all the way in the water, and it started doing crazy stuff, and I was just like, why is the water doing this? And so I started freaking out. And then, but like, every time I would go back to the beach, it just got stronger and stronger. And so that's why I would go to the beach every day, because I would just practice, because I thought it was freaking cool. But then over time, I think like a year or two after that, because that was in 2020. So yeah, a year, okay, I think it was 2021 when I received the teachings. Well, that's when I received the Emerald tablets, the version I have. And then I think a year after that, in 2022, that's when I came across the Egyptian ancient teachings, which is like the actual discipline programs that they had, you know, regarding evolving, right? So, which is the teachings I've been telling you guys about. So when I came across those teachings, it started making more sense to me. And I was like, oh my God, because like they teach you like how to embody certain principles of nature to be able to become one with it, to be able to co-create with it, pretty much. And so when I got the teachings, I was reading it, and it was explaining all of that, right? And so when I got the teachings, I was already up there, if you think about it, because like if I was already co-creating with water and stuff like that, then I was already Tef Nut, which is close to Shu, which is air, and that's almost to Ra, which is the supreme being, the Christ-like consciousness, right? And so when I came across the teachings and I started reading, you know, the principles and everything, and how to embody certain principles of nature, it made sense to me, because at first I was confused. I was like, why? Like, what's going on, you know? This is not normal. And so when the teachings came across, the ancient Egyptian teachings came across my lap, and I started reading and studying and everything. When I came across Tef Nut, which was water, it kind of taught you how to embody like the energy of the principle, right? Because we do have water inside our bodies anyway. So it teaches you how to like connect with it in a way, to become one with it, to be able to control it, you know? And so So when I was reading it, I was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. And I was like, I'm already up here, you know, because it's like, I don't know, it just made sense, right? And then like, I think later on I started noticing the wind and everything. Like it would pick up if I would go outside or something like that. It would get more windy, or like if I do certain things, or if I dance a lot. Like if I danced, or like if I worked really hard, I noticed the wind would pick up really fast, heavy, and I don't know, I could just look at the trees or something and the wind will just start blowing really fast and like the trees would go crazy. Like certain things like that would happen. And so that would be Shu, right? So, which is air, space, the ether. And so when I came across the teachings, I was already at Tefnut, which is the water, right? And so I had already overcame a lot of my ego and stuff like that. And like, I was already a loving person in general, like my whole life. So I never really embodied like jealousy and certain detrimental personalities or energies within myself to kind of like stunt my growth. So I was already like probably past that part, because I don't, and I'm not even trying to boost myself up or anything like that, but I really don't think like when I see people, I don't think like, I really don't think like of doing certain things, malicious things to them, you know, or being jealous of them because of what they have or anything like that. I don't embody certain energies like that because I know better, if that makes sense. So I was probably already past those steps. But like if I look at people like that, I just, like with me, if I seen somebody like that had more than me or very successful in that manner, I would like, what I do, I actually learn from them, right? To kind of help myself grow, but not take from them, you know, not try to manipulate them to get something out of them, right? I just kind of like learn from them to be able to learn how to grow further than I'm already am, right? But I don't like harbor the energy of jealousy, like, oh my, or envy, like, oh my God, they have more than me, I have to do this, oh my God, and get jealous and stuff. Like, I never really was like that. And so I'm still not like that. And so I just be like, so when that time came, I was like, I must have already overcame all these lower, grosser personality forces, you know. I had already overcame all that, which was like the set, which is ego and all that, right? And then I was learning at the same time. So I was studying the teachings, the ancient teachings, and learning more wisdom and stuff, which was actually doing nothing but progressing my growth and me evolving mentally and spiritually, right, with the wisdom. And so that would be what Aset. So Aset is Isis, right? Queen of the moon, mother of the sun, or something. But that would be Isis though. So Isis, she would go around and like gain wisdom, right, to be able to help her be able to live better and stuff, right? So I was already doing that because I was already studying the teachings, which was helping me evolve, to be honest. So I embodied that principle, which was the set, which is the wisdom, like searching for more, right? Looking for answers, the truth, etc., right? And so I was already doing that. So by the time I got the teachings, I was like, that's probably why the water was going crazy and stuff, right? Because I was already up, but not even knowing what I was doing. But just by me being who I was, like my whole life and stuff, you know, it seemed like I was actually getting higher consciously without even knowing, right? So when I was at the beach in 2020, I was just like, what the heck? But it made sense in 2022 when I came across the ancient Egyptian teachings. And I was just like, that's crazy. And so over time, my dreams started making more sense to me, right? And with the teachings, you know, it just sealed the deal for me because I actually was walking the path without even knowing what I was doing. But then after I studied the teachings, it just all made sense to me. That's why I know it's effective, because it was working without me even knowing what I was doing. but the teachings kind of showed me what was going on, if that makes sense. And so, because I worked a lot on myself, to be honest with you guys. I went through so much stuff, and it's like, and then on top of that, I really had no one to talk to. So I just had myself, and so like I had to depend on myself and God like majority of the time. And so I really didn't have anyone to help me or anything, especially emotionally, you know. So I had to depend on myself a lot, and which was okay because it just helped me like heal my trauma and stuff like that, or things that were bothering me, or people that hurt me and stuff like that, forgiving them, right? So I could move forward. And the more that I was able to forgive, the less burden I felt, or the less of the heaviness that I felt, you know. Sorry, I don't know what's going on, but I didn't have a lot of burdens anymore, which was holding me back, you know, because of the anger and stuff, right? And so like now, like how I view it now, it's like I just know how people are and stuff. So I kind of like it's just like, if you show me like who you truly are the first time, like I'm gonna be careful around you. I'm not gonna get as close to you like I used to be, you know, because you already showed me your true self, and I'm not gonna get closer to you if you're gonna bite me again, you know. But at the same time, I do forgive, right? But I'll just keep my distance, so that way I'm not hurting myself again, you know, if that makes sense. But also understanding forgiveness as well, right? But at the same time protecting myself, if that makes sense, so it won't happen again. You know, so that's where I be at with it. And I think the more that I healed and everything, the more lighter I became, and consciously and spiritually, to where I could embody more of the principles of nature, you know, to be able to co-create with nature, if that makes sense. But that's why I think it's important to work on your traumas and stuff like that, and your ego too. Your ego and all that stuff, right? And so I don't know, there's a difference though with being egotistic and being confident. But it kind of looks the same. Like if somebody's like extremely confident, you might think they're in their ego, but they're just confident within themselves, you know. So there's just a difference, you know, that you have to pay attention to. You know, but it helped me a lot. And then, you know, I overcame like a lot. And I look back to it now, it's just like, it's kind of hard to even think about how I even made it this far because of how much I went through, you know. But you can't really be free unless you go through the strife and struggle, you know, because that's where you actually learn, because you learn from your mistakes, of course, and through hard work too, and rejections and all that stuff, you know. It does nothing but like pretty much make you stronger and more aware of things, which makes you more wiser, which will bring you more power. But they do say in the tablets though that that's how I know a lot of this stuff is connected, and it's true, because they do say in the tablets that like with my dreams, going back to my dreams and everything, and why I was having them and everything of that and everything, I guess. Sorry. But like when I look back to it, it's like, even listening to the tablets, they do say like how once individual people are able to understand how to embody certain principles of nature and be able to fly in the air like birds with wings and harness the lightning, then that's when the great warfare will begin. And there's going to be war between light and dark, right? But in the end, the light is going to outshine the darkness and be able to be free from the dark, and the dark is going to have to go back to where it came from, right? And so, but he say it in the tablets, like that's when the great warfare is going to begin, once everybody learn how to harness certain principles of nature to be able to use harness those energies to be able to perform certain feats. So like I think it's like they say earthquakes, floods, earthquakes, floods, lightning, of course, just anything. Like, we'll be able to control it, so we'll be able to fight with it using those forces. But you have to learn the principles behind the forces to be able to understand how to embody the principles of that force, to be able to use it in that way, to be able to help you with certain feats, and with a lot of stuff, to be honest. And so when I heard that in the tablets too, it just reminded me of like me flying in the air, whenever that dream I had when I was flying in the air. And but it wasn't just me, it was other people too, and we're all just going up in the air, but it wasn't nothing scary, we're just flying. And so that just reminds me of that dream, right? So I'm just like, when I came across the tablets, I was like, what? Flying in the air. And so, but the more that I studied and researched and stuff, you know, it made more sense to me, especially with Shu, because what Shu is like right before your inner fire, which is the supreme being, which is the Christ-like consciousness, right? And that's the state that you need to be, which is the transcendental state of consciousness, to be able to control forces of nature, if that makes sense. And so I was just like, this is crazy, but it's so true. But it's like, it's just amazing to me, because like over time I kept playing, like not even playing with it, I wouldn't say, but I was like practicing my gifts, especially at the beach, even in the woods, you know. It was just amazing. And so that's how I know it's true, because I actually walked it and actually put the work in, and experimented with it too, and applied the teachings to my life. That's how I know the teachings actually work, because I applied it to my life, and I actually seen it working in my life, you know. It's amazing. But he say a lot of other stuff in the tablets too, but I'm not gonna go there right now, not just yet. But yeah, I just think it's amazing. But yeah, I've been on here for a minute. I don't want to talk you guys' heads off today, but I just wanted to come in and show my presence and talk a little bit to you guys about that. So that's why it's important, as I go back to the beginning, or what I said last time, that's why it's good to kind of like work on yourself and your things that are holding you back, such as like hate, jealousy, envy, anything that's detrimental to your growth, so that way you'll be able to do certain things like that, right, when you get to that level. Because anybody could do it, you just got to learn how to embody the principles. But you can't really do that if you're stuck, if you're always in your ego, not trying to grow. You can't grow always being in your ego, you know. It just makes sense, right? So you got to be like happy and like be at a certain state mentally and spiritually to be able to embody those principles. But they teach you how to do it, and that's why they came up with those systems to be able to help their people back in ancient Egypt to be able to do that. And that's probably why they worship the pyramids so much, to be honest with you, now I think about it. Because I was watching the History Channel yesterday, and they're talking about how they're trying to understand what the purpose of the pyramid was, you know, and they're thinking that it was just like a burial site for all the pharaohs and stuff, right? But I was just like, it's probably like that because they worshiped them, right? Because I think it's because they knew the system that I'm speaking on, and they knew that they'll be able to do certain things with nature, with the forces of nature, by elevating their self spiritually and mentally. So they created the system to kind of teach them how to do that. And I think, like in my mind, I think that's probably why they worship the pyramids so much. Because if you think about it, if you go up the pyramid, it's like a dissolution of creation, right? And the very tip would be like the start of creation, which would be the transcendental state, which like mentally, consciously, to where, because it's like the top, right? It'll be like the transcendental state of consciousness to be able to create with nature. That's the state you need to be in, right? And so I think that's why they probably worshiped the pyramids so much. And it was like I think it was like an image or a structure for them regarding their system, to be honest with you. I don't know, because they still don't know the purpose. Like, they really don't even know how they built it, to be honest with you, with no technology, because it was so much. And so I don't know, I just think like they probably valued them because, like, in my eyes, I'm not saying it's true, but from my observation, I feel like, sorry, from my observation, I feel like they valued them because of the system, you know, because it's just like the tree too. If you think about it, it's the same thing. Because even in the research I've done, they do talk about the Benben, which is the mini pyramid that they place on top of the structures that they used to. How when you go down, it's like the creation of, it'll be like it shows you like how creation from the start down, from the top of the pyramid down, would be the progress of creation, but going up the pyramid would be the dissolution of creation. So when you get to the top of the dissolution of creation, that's when you be able to become one with everything, to be able to harness certain principles from the energies of that principle, to be able to become one with it, to be able to control it, pretty much, which is the forces that are surrounding that principle, like water. You know, there are certain forces around certain principles that you can embody to be able to work with it, I guess. So I don't know, but I think that's why they probably, you know, not worship the pyramids, but I think it was really important to them. And that's why it brought them a lot of joy, because they knew how to be one with creation, to be able to do certain amazing things with creation with just their minds, you know. It reminds me of like Moses when he's able to part the sea, you know, just certain things like that. But it's so crazy. Like, people would probably think I was evil if I was able to do certain things like that, but I'm really not doing anything dark. All I did was go within myself and work on myself to spiritually evolve myself, spiritually and mentally. And then not even knowing it, that's the craziest part. I didn't even know what I was doing, or that I was even at that level, until I came across the teachings. So I think the teachings, they obviously came to me for a reason, you know, obviously. But even you're even like, the more that you spiritually evolve and consciously evolve as well, you'll be able to embody more of the subtle forces that control your personality, to be able to get rid of it, right? To be able to be in control over it, just like ego, right? Because it could be really detrimental to your health and your progress, certain personality traits, which will stunt you from evolving, right? So once you learn how to embody certain principles and be able to get rid of certain energies, subtle energies that are detrimental to your personality, which, such as ego, envy, and all that stuff, right? Stuff that will bring you down, pretty much lower your level of your vibration. Once you learn how to do that, you'll be able to kick that, be in control over it, right? So that way you can evolve, keep going up, right? I don't know, but I just wanted to come and say hi to you guys and wish you guys a good day. And I'm just gonna vibe out probably for the rest of the day. Yeah. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. I can't believe it's Saturday already. So time goes by so fast, you know. So you gotta be, I try to like make sure that I'm productive with my time, because you just never know how much time you have left and stuff, you know. And it's like, why not be productive with it? Or help, yeah, pretty much. Even if that even means going outside for a walk, you know, just chilling out. If that's productive to you, hey, if it makes you happy, do it. You know, as long as it's not hurting you or anyone else. That's when it becomes a problem. So, I don't know. But I just wanted to come and wish you guys a good weekend. And I'm about to go vibe out. So, yeah. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye.